You're listening to JTE Movie Thinks. Is that the title? Is that correct grammar? All right, we'll go with it. It's a show about movies and thinking. And now, here's your host, every man's hero, JTE.
Hey guys, what is going on? JT here, back with a brand new episode of JTE Movie Thinks. And this week, I'm welcoming back somebody that's been on the show twice. Once by himself, he's one of my first guests, and the second time with a special guest, Mr. Mark Ellis. But he's here for the third time. You know him, you love him, Tom Dagnino.
Hey guys, what's up? I really love this show.
Do you?
Yeah, I watch every single episode.
What a great way to start off the episode.
All right, listen, the Cody Hall one was my favorite.
Oh, really? With Warrior?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you like that one so much?
He's just the best.
All right, Cody Hall is the best. All right, guys.
He's a smart guy.
You and I host a show called Box Office Breakdown
Yep.
every Monday, which if you guys aren't seeing, you need to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk movies pretty often with each other.
Absolutely.
I mean, usually though, it's the stuff that's coming out in theaters every day.
For the most part. And the top fives are like actors and things like that.
We do get into it a little bit.
Yeah, the show has made me a more knowledgeable and well-rounded movie person for sure.
Really?
Yeah, this show.
Okay, gotcha. Just wanted to make sure which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you know how this show works, everybody. I love this show because I never know what I'm going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's part of the surprise. Like, it's nice to come to a show where you don't know what's going to happen, unexpected, and you never know where the conversations go, especially with you, Tom.
It's like me when I go to a bar. I have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, you usually wind up with a chick or something like that, but...
I was about to say, you probably know what's going to happen.
I know what's going to happen.
It's just not what kind of girl are you going to be with.
That's true. and yeah, exactly. The girl has no idea what's going to happen.
But if you went to a bar in China...
I don't even slip her Mickeys.
If you went to a bar in China, you would know what kind of girl you're going to leave with, though.
Oh, absolutely.
She's going to be Chinese.
She's going to 100% be Chinese. She's probably going to have already seen Fast and Furious 7 like 45 times already.
She probably got part 8 on bootleg already.
Oh, yeah. My buddy, he looks like Vin Diesel. He goes down to China. This guy's raking.
No way, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's killing it. They're like, oh, Vin Diesel.
I feel like if you just shaved your head and had a decent muscles, they'd probably every American probably looks the same to them.
That's true. Yeah, they don't know any better. Because every Chinese person looks the same over here. It's the same thing.
It works both ways.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
All right, guys. So I'm going to ask Tom the most important question on this podcast. What is the last movie you watched from beginning to end? And again, I know we do go to screenings sometimes.
Sure.
I want something that you kind of just threw on your own.
This is crazy.
Choice.
It's something I haven't watched in a really long time, and the new one is coming out in December, and I was like, let me go revisit Star Wars. I really haven't seen these movies in a really long time.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I don't watch the 1, 2, and 3 or whatever it is. I would never watch those.
You're talking about the prequels?
Yeah, the prequels.
Okay.
Never, ever. Didn't see him in the movie theaters. Won't see him now. Don't care who Jar Jar Binks is and who else. I don't care. Even if Natalie Portman was naked in it. Or I've already seen her naked in a couple of movies. But anyway, that being said. I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find these movies anywhere. Like Amoeba did not have these on DVD. They're like, we're out.
Were you looking for Blu-ray or DVD?
Blu-ray.
Okay, really?
Yeah, and DVD. They had nothing.
Maybe because the movie's coming out in December, everyone's just grabbing them.
I think so. So I wound up getting it on eBay for like $25.
Wow.
The one with the Darth Vader cover with Blu-ray and the regular ones in the same thing.
Okay.
And I have a Blu-ray player, obviously. So it was over Memorial Day weekend, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be hanging out, running around. Like, let me just throw these movies on and get reacquainted with them.
And what would you say, like, ballpark, when was the last time you saw these movies? Has it been
as a whole?
Yeah.
It was 15 years.
Are you serious? That
Maybe
long?
More. I mean, with no commercial interruptions. I don't own it. I didn't own it on VHS. I didn't own it on DVD. I didn't own it on Blu-ray.
So was it something that you've seen a lot in the past 15 years?
No. I mean, I heard more about Ken Knapsack saying it. I mean, you guys might think I'm Ken Knapsack right now, but I'm definitely not.
I was going to say, I thought my first episode talking about Star Wars would probably be Ken.
Yeah, that would be kind of cliche.
Yeah. What was the last time? How many times have you seen Rocky in the past 15 years?
Oh, like 30. Yeah, I mean that's like Ken coming on here and talking about Rocky.
Yeah. I got you. Okay. So, which film did you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the trilogy? Or?
I mean, all three were great. Like I said, I thought a while back that Empire Strikes Back was my favorite.
Yeah, that's usually the most people say.
It's a polished film. It's a good thing. But the first one was so raw and so different and just so real and good. I mean, this movie was great. The characters, the introduction to characters, these are things in film you've never seen before. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I'd like to talk about the first one. The third one was just like a cash toy accessory grab.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
Kind of like Transformers turned into these days. It's just like, why don't you...
I think they had like 7 Luke figures for that season, or that movie alone. It was like Luke in Hoth gear, Luke in this, Luke in that, Luke in this, Luke in the Jedi thing, missing hand, all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. And the Ewoks and all that other nonsense.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the first one.
Yeah, the first one's such an interesting movie because in the 70s, film was looked at more as art form.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying Star Wars is art, but the 2 movies that kind of started the summer blockbuster season was Steven Spielberg's Jaws.
Yep.
And George Lucas' Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, Star Wars was not like, this big Hollywood production.
No.
Nobody in that movie is really famous except for one person, Alec Guinness.
Absolutely.
That's the one person he was able to pull. An older Alec Guinness too.
Like, of course.
Towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
No one heard of Mark Hamill.
Nope.
Nobody really. I mean, Harrison Ford had a small role in George Lucas's first film, American Graffiti.
He was a carpenter.
Yeah, he was a carpenter. So he wasn't a movie star yet.
Carrie Fisher was on the drug scene.
Even back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got Carrie Fisher in a drug scene.
Yeah.
And then so I mean that whole thing kind of came together as a small indie. It's hard to call Star Wars small, but it was an independent film that no studio really had any.
I mean, the droids were made out of trash cans.
Yeah, it's true.
There was a lot of like rubber. George Lucas had to be hospitalized. I mean, his anxiety levels were so high.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, this is a tank. This is gonna be the worst. Mm-hmm. And Spielberg was like, no. And he goes, I'm shooting Close Encounters of the Third Kind right now because they shot them simultaneously. And he was like, your movie's better than mine.
Wow, he said that, huh?
And he's like, look, he goes, this is just so innovative and so different. He goes, I'll make you a handshake bet. Your movie does more than mine. I'll give we'll give each other 25% of the movie. And
really?
And Lucas was like, I'm definitely gonna trust Spielberg coming off of his movies and stuff like that. He's like, I'll take 25% of this guy's money. But Spielberg got the last laugh.
Wow.
So if Spielberg ever comes up to you and says like, hey, you want to do 25% of 25%, that means your thing is better and he's going to rob you for all your money, which is exactly what he did. So he does nothing on Star Wars. Maybe they drink and get creative every once in a while, but I think Spielberg's made over like $700 million off of fucking Star Wars alone.
Wow, it's unbelievable.
Without doing anything except a handshake deal.
Let me say this. The thing about George Lucas is I don't think he's a great filmmaker, but he's great at advancing technology in film. That's what ILM is all about.
Yeah, light and magic. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta remember they're the ones that kind of started Pixar too.
Absolutely.
So when this movie came out, again, the funny thing is you watch some of the special features, you see the dailies.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen to make a movie a movie. Mm-hmm. When you see dailies of Star Wars, which is basically just like behind the scenes video, it looks kind of silly.
Oh, of course.
Because the door opens up, you don't have that special effect.
Of course.
They have the original actor's voice for Darth Vader. Mm-hmm. You watch it and you're like, this looks like some guy put on a little sci-fi show in his like basement.
That's exactly what it looks like.
With a decent set. Mm-hmm. But what they didn't realize was he's going to put it through all his post-production, the sound effects. Some of the most recognizable sound effects in Hollywood come from Star Wars.
Yeah, lightsabers.
Yeah. And then the music by John Williams. Mm-hmm. And then you got James Earl Jones. And the same scene that almost looked kind of silly now is like, holy cow, this looks amazing.
It stood up. And on Blu-ray, it looks fantastic.
Now, what do you think? Because you watched all 3 films. Lucas didn't direct 2 or 3.
No, he did not. It was Cosmastis or whatever. No, not Cosmastis. That was
Rambo.
That was Rambo.
The guy who directed part 2 is...
I forget his name.
Fuck, I know his name too.
Randy.
No. Randy Quaid?
Yeah, Randy Quaid.
That would have been amazing.
Chevy Chase was his assistant director.
Oh, people are yelling at us right now.
Yeah, no,
through the phone because I can't remember this guy's name, and I'm gonna know it real soon because I'm looking it up. Oh God, he directed RoboCop 2 also.
Yes,
which is amazing.
Yes,
parallel film.
Man, I forget his name.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, we need that.
This would not happen if it was doing the show. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. The third one was
supposed to be, as soon as
the third one was supposed to be done by Cronenberg, but he backed out.
That's right, which I thought would have been great.
I think it would have been a little creepier. The third one was real campy. I didn't like the whole Ewok stuff.
Irvin Kershner.
That's what it is.
Irvin Kershner. Yes. That's right. God, I can't believe I couldn't remember that.
Yeah, no, me either.
Jesus.
I was close with Randy.
You were close with Randy?
Yeah, Randy Quaid, Kershner, same thing. No, I mean, I thought this movie was great. I thought the introduction to all the characters were great. I thought the stuff in the cantina was great.
Well, let me ask you
Harrison
something.
Ford was fantastic.
What's one thing when you think of a good Star Wars movie, and when you go to see a Star Wars movie like this December, what's one thing you really want to see? What's usually the highlight of these movies?
I just hope it's grounded properly. I don't want to see too much like, because I like the characters in the first one.
Yeah.
You know.
Luke and
they were like cutting off hands, and then they'd show like a shot of the hand on the ground and stuff like that. You know, it was great stuff. I mean, I really hope they follow that.
But you know what's funny is like when I go to like when you go see Rocky, you're like, I can't wait to see that boxing match.
Right, of course.
When I see a Star Wars movie, I can't wait to see that lightsaber fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the first Star Wars movie does not really have a good lightsaber fight.
No,
because it wasn't quite what it was at that point.
Well, Luke wasn't a lot. You know, he didn't.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's that one match with Alec Guinness against Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, hope this isn't like controversial to say. It's the worst lightsaber fight of all the Star Wars movies.
It's not very good.
These two guys are like going in almost slow motion.
Yeah.
Like, bzz,
it's not very good.
But I guess it's all about the dialogue in that scene, really. It's not about the fight.
Well, it's about Obi-Wan being like, all right, I'm out of here. You know?
That's exactly right.
And then he fades into oblivion or whatever. Yeah, and he's like, Luke, it's up to you now.
I wish so bad Alec Guinness looked at the camera and said, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm out of here. It's over with. I'm done with this.
I'm done.
Old Obi-Wan.
That's basically what he did, because he's just like, go ahead, strike me down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he turned into a ghost, or he disappeared.
Yeah, into his cloak.
And I love the look by Darth Vader, who's just like it's almost like when somebody pokes a dead body with a stick.
Is this guy dead?
Yeah.
He's like, I know he's a Jedi and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, what just happened?
I really liked, you know, the movie itself, you know, the beginning where, you know, Luke's at, you know, they're buying the droids and the uncle's trying to hold him down, and, you know, the uncle he's like, I really want to go to that school, and, you know, the uncle's looking at his wife, and like, they know something. You know they know something.
Yeah.
And then they just don't want to tell him. And they're like, the mom's like, well, he's ready to go, you know, and they're like, no, we need him here for the harvest and whatever bullshit they're talking about. Then he goes back and everybody's burnt up. And
oh, that's like such a dark scene. Like it
really is.
It's
really
not
is.
like just a skeleton. It's like burnt, charred.
Yeah, it's a charred person.
Something you would see, like, I feel like in a radar movie.
Absolutely.
And
there was some, I mean, you know, and people get killed, but not really. You know, they were dead.
It's one thing to see like a house blow up with your aunt and uncle in it, and you know they're in there, and you're like, oh no, they died.
Yeah, but they were charred.
You come back to charred bodies.
Yes.
That look like they've been basically, you know, barbecued.
No, absolutely, and they were. I mean, the Imperial whatever, the Empire.
Imperial Empire.
Yeah, they came over there and destroyed everybody. You know?
I mean, what did they do? Like, didn't they tell you what they did? Like, did they just shoot him with some lasers and burn him to a crisp?
They're just like, look, is Luke Skywalker here? They're like, no. I'm like, all right, you're dead now. Like, do you know where he's at? They're like, no. They're like, well,
you're toast.
You're dead.
You're toast.
Yeah, you're toast, literally. I mean, that's what bad people do. Bad guys shoot people. They're like, hey, you know anything? That's why when you see people getting tortured, they don't want to give it up. Because once they give it up, they're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, you know, take it as long as you can. Hopefully somebody like Rambo comes in and saves you before you burn.
That's Colonel Troutman's whole...
you know, he's like, yeah, just stay alive.
Just stay alive. You know, he's going to come again.
Trained in combat, you know. So, I mean, there's a lot of things like that. But, I mean...
Well, let me ask you this real quick, because Harrison Ford went on to be one of the biggest Hollywood stars ever. Carrie Fisher's career kind of went nowhere.
Yeah, she was hanging around Margot Kidder. Margot Kidder was in Superman.
Man.
She was in Star Wars.
Yeah, she went nuts.
They were doing the 70s club drug scene and living big.
And Mark Hamill's had a real interesting career because he kind of is still...
He's a big voice guy.
He's mainly known for Luke Skywalker. Yeah, and later in his career, he became a voice. He's known for the Joker.
Sure.
He even does it for the Schmoes Know. We have an awesome Mark Hamill introduction.
Absolutely.
But, like, why do you think he never made it to, like, the Han Solo or Harrison Ford level? Well,
I don't think.
Do you think maybe just to have that kind of range?
It's the rugged good looks. It's the personality. It's just the overall acting.
He's not that great of an actor,
no,
really,
he's honestly not. He's okay. He got progressively better, but Harrison Ford came in and was that guy immediately. There's a charisma thing. There's a lot of actors that you know that come out nowadays, and they lack the charisma. With charisma, you win.
Yeah,
that's the key to acting.
I mean, I'm a movie
Anybody
buff.
could sit there and read lines.
I'm a movie buff, and I can't think of another movie Mark Hamill really starred in. He actually starred in a World War II film, but he wasn't the star.
No.
It was called The Big Red One. It's a very small World War II film that came out in the 80s.
Nah, nobody wants to watch that.
Yeah.
Plus, he's just more, he can't, you know, some people can't shake the characters they play. Even if they are super iconic.
Okay.
You know, and unfortunately for Mark Hamill, he is Luke Skywalker forever.
Yeah.
Han Solo, you can be like, he was good as the fugitive. He was good as Richard Kimball. And then he's like, oh yeah, he was in Star Wars too. Oh yeah, he was Indiana Jones. Oh yeah, he was the guy in Blade Runner. Yeah, and all these other things. It's range. I mean, it's like Steve Urkel in Family Matters. He's going to forever be Steve Urkel anytime he pops up on screen.
Yeah.
Henry Winkler is always the Fonz.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a couple other roles, but they're parodies.
But the thing I think Hamill has in common with those guys, they're talented to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, look,
They just kind of got lucky. So I feel like, imagine if somebody like a better actor got cast as Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I mean, that's an iconic character. When you say Star Wars, the first word out of your mouth is usually Luke Skywalker.
True.
He runs the whole show. I don't know. Who? Like, who's the star of 70s?
I think Al Pacino actually
Luke
went
Skywalker?
up. He actually went for Han Solo.
Oh, he did.
I believe.
That would have been good.
And Stallone went up for Han Solo also.
That would have been good too.
Did you know that?
But they might have been. No, I did not know that. He was up for every single role.
Well, apparently he went to a screen test and was like, kind of like, what is this?
Yeah, he's probably like,
wait, laser gun?
Laser gun? Talking to a thing with hair on it? Who's that? You're like, hey, yo, what am I doing here?
Oh man,
is this a real movie?
Imagine if he played Chewbacca.
Oh my God, and Al Pacino, I'd be like, what? I'm not a good I'm not a good Al Pacino guy. Something's really wrong is going on here.
Stallone playing Chewbacca.
Yeah. Imagine that'd be funny if it was Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Stallone is Chewbacca. Well, that's the. They're like, we needed somebody better than this. I think, it's like the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy with Groot. They got Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
So that's like almost their Chewbacca character.
Talk about paycheck. It has to repeat one line over and over.
That's all he did. Probably did it on the set of Fast and Furious 7. He's in his trailer. Be like, hey, Vin, we need a line. He's like, yeah, what do you need? I am Groot. Oh, yeah, I'll say that. Boom, done. Here's $30 million. That guy's, wow. He should go to China and just live there. That'd be the best. But, look, the Star Wars, getting back to it, it's a solid film.
Yeah.
And it's a cult classic,
I think
obviously.
it's a little more than a solid film.
It changed people's lives.
Yeah.
Without, Star Wars, I don't know where Ken Knapsack would be. He needs that. He might be in jail.
He might be in jail.
He might be in jail.
Might have saved Ken's life.
I think it did.
It's so funny because growing up, I watched Star Wars movies growing up. I love them. I actually recently rewatched the prequels just to remind myself how bad they are.
Yeah. I don't want to dip into that.
You don't want to dip into that?
No.
Because I know the originals are good, and it wasn't that long ago I watched the originals. And one thing you said you watched them all in a row.
Yeah, I did.
Like if I watched one, and
it was like one day, and then two the next day. Yeah.
If you spread them out, like I remember, if I watched Star Wars 1, I love it. Star Wars 2 is amazing.
Yeah.
And then if I gave a few months and I went back and watched 3, I'd probably be like, oh, that's a fun movie. Mm-hmm. But if you watch them really close together, 3 does not hold up as well.
No, it does not. They had a good, it's like Yoda. You got the Jabba the Hutt stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
Once they go on the Ewok, I'm done.
You really? See, as a kid, though, I love the Ewoks.
Not me.
Even as a kid, you didn't like them.
Hated the Ewok.
Why is
That's when I started branching off into liking G.I. Joe. I was
why? I'm just curious why you hate Ewoks as a kid.
They're I don't know. It's like a corny. I don't like those corny characters. I didn't like Transformers either. I was a G.I. Joe guy.
The funny thing is now how you said the first film, you said it's more raw. Mm-hmm. To bring up back to the point of those two burnt bodies.
Yeah.
I feel like that would never happen in the third one.
No.
It was too.
Well, they knew their audience by then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the first one, they're like, I don't know who's going to see this. They're like, I don't know if it's going to be adults. I don't know if it's going to be kids. I don't know what's going to happen here.
True.
And the second one was so good. They're like, all right, now we know our fan base.
Yeah.
So let's throw these little idiots around here and sell Ewok villages and make $1 zillion.
But Warwick Davis, who's a little person, famously known for the Leprechaun.
Yeah.
He got his start by playing one of the Ewoks in that movie.
Yeah, good for. They didn't have to have $1 zillion of them. They would have one running around. He gives Luke one of those things they fly on. And
here's the thing: I don't hate the Ewoks. Here's what I don't like about the Ewoks.
And they're just throwing rocks in their slingshot and stuff.
Problem.
That doesn't hurt anybody.
The fact that
has a little rock hurt like a stormtrooper. Give me a break. Things like shooting high-powered lasers.
That's my biggest problem. Why I don't hate the Ewoks as characters. Mm-hmm. I hate that they're used to take out the Empire.
Yeah, come on. It's a joke. Punch one Ewok. It's
how
ridiculous.
many? If you
could run through the whole Ewok crew, destroy everyone.
Do you feel like you can take out Ewok? How many Ewoks can you take out at once? Because
probably 7. They don't have grizzly bear power.
We don't know that. Do they have for you know they're like little trash compactors. They can crush your body.
Maybe. You just can't let them grab you. You know? I just don't find them that powerful.
This reminds me of an article that came out years ago where in Africa a king for his celebration of his anniversary of his country took, I think it was over 30 little people and put them up against a full-grown lion.
Wow. Who was it?
Yeah.
Idi Amin?
No. But the
Forrest Whitaker?
The question was like, who would win? Would a group of 30 little people?
Oh, a lion wins.
Beat.
He eats everybody. He's not going to beat it. What are they going to do? They have weapons?
No,
they're dead.
But there's 30 of them.
Doesn't make a difference.
You think they could hold them off? Take them down?
I don't think the whole Schmo crew can beat a lion.
Really?
Yeah, unless Tiffany
Seduce.
got naked or something.
Okay, let's go for there.
Yeah,
but
or Mary.
I feel like that is a problem. The Ewoks, basically taking out the Empire. It's just the biggest problem in that movie for me.
Yeah, it didn't hold up.
And then
I was like, is this over yet? And then I was like, all right, now it's over.
And then they have this party at the end.
Yeah.
They see C-3PO as like a god.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell wrote that.
And you can't tell the females from the males in that movie.
That's where I wonder where they're gonna pick this one up. I mean, isn't it like 30 years or something like that?
Yeah, it's real time basically since the last one ended. I wonder if we will see some Ewoks maybe as a cameo.
So it's 30 years since the last one.
Yeah, so that's how long it's going to be in the movie.
Okay. So they're not going to be chilling at the Ewok village. It ain't going to open up in the Ewok village.
No, I think they left after their little party.
I hope so. I hope it opens when, it's like, I know it's not going to happen, but I mean, I think Luke is going to be like a Yoda type where you have to go visit him somewhere. It's going to be all scruffy probably. I would assume that Princess Leia and Han Solo are still together.
Yeah, that's funny though, because it's funny when you see
but Carrie Fisher's not she's not in good shape. Like she's not in good acting shape anymore.
She got in better shape for the movie.
Maybe, but I mean, she's not going to be in a bikini.
But here's my thing: when that trailer comes on, the very last
and shape, I mean mental wise too.
Yeah, mental. In the very last end of the trailer for Star Wars, the new one, you see Han Solo. He's like, Chewie, we're home.
Yeah.
Seeing him and Chewie made me think like they're still off doing stuff. Like maybe he was with Leia sometime.
Maybe he's still roguing.
Maybe he's still roguing around. Maybe they had a relationship. They had a kid, and now at this point they're kind of separated.
Maybe that's in the house and Princess Leia's just sitting there with her legs open.
Why would you say Chewie were home?
Oh, maybe
What's
he watches.
Chewie doing?
Maybe he films it.
Chewie's just like...
She's sitting there. And he's like, Chewie, we're home. I mean, we don't know. I mean, you never know. They didn't cut back. They don't know who they're talking about.
I also mentioned this.
They're probably looking at the Millennium Falcon or something.
They have to be. That's why I think they just got into the Millennium Falcon.
I really, really would like to see Lando in this.
Me too. I actually had him on our Star Wars fantasy draft.
Yeah.
I would really hope he shows up.
I think they're going to do some surprises.
There's got to be.
Maybe like Jabba Jr. Like Jabba the Hutt Jr. He's good.
Do you really want Jabba Jr. in the movie?
I want Jabba Jr.
You could have... Jabba Jr. is a good name.
Yeah.
They could have a race of the Hutts in there, but I don't think it'll be related to Jabba. Yeah. I'm curious how much they're going to intertwine the movies. I mean, obviously it's going to be in the lore.
Sure.
But like, how many little winks are there going to be?
Yeah. I think a bunch. Because I think a lot of these fans, I think what they're going to rely on for box office is all of us, the older generation. That's where the bulk of this money is coming from.
Okay.
The bulk of the money is not coming from new 7, 8, 9-year-olds.
Yeah, they're in the Marvel train.
Yeah, exactly. They're on that Marvel train. It's going to come from guys like us and new fanboys who put people onto these movies.
Yeah, and the parents bringing their kids to this movie
Absolutely.
because they want them to see Star Wars.
Yeah, let's go see it again. I mean, I think it's going to do $1 billion. I really do.
Yeah, it's going to destroy.
Yeah. And I mean, Star Wars #1 is almost at $1 billion. Yeah, I mean, it's over its domestic cume for like the last 40 years or whatever it is. So.
All right. Well, we could talk Star Wars all day.
Yeah, of course.
We're gonna end this with quick thinks.
Yeah.
Where I tweet out. I basically just ask fans to tweet me the last movie they watched, and we're going to get some of your opinions on them.
Yeah, let's do it.
But again, guys, Star Wars. I think this is the time to revisit these movies.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I rewatched the prequels. I'm not saying you should, but why not? Because for me, like I like to bag on a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana Jones 4 is horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But after you don't watch it for 4 years, sometimes you gotta remind yourself how bad it is.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you want to be able to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So watch the prequels. The first one's horrible. Attack of Clones is pretty bad, but I will say Revenge of the Sith is easily the best out of the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they screw a lot of shit up, there are some moments that are entertaining.
Right.
And definitely rewatched the original trilogy before, because these are following directly
Fantastic film.
after that.
1 and 2, fantastic. 3 so far.
All right, well, sticking with the Star Wars theme, we're going to go with Obi Jack Kenobi at Mr. Jackson. Said the last movie he watched was Dazed and Confused.
It's a great film.
Great film. Is this one of the movies you watched growing up?
You know the best thing about high school girls?
You keep staying the same
They stay
age?
the same age.
Yeah.
And
Matt
that's
McConaughey, man. Still.
he killed it in that. Every time he came on screen, he destroyed it. Murked the whole scene. And Adam, what's his name? Adam. I forget his name. He's in Saving Private. Yeah, Adam Goldberg.
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan guy.
Yep.
These guys. It was a fantastic film. Great coming of age movie. Anytime you do a high school movie and it could depict, the guy who's watching it, the years they watched it, like say whatever that was in the '60s. A guy who went to high school in the '60s. If you could depict that, it'll be a big hit, and that's exactly what it was.
Nice. I love the movie also. I think Ben Affleck gives a great turn as the heel.
He's fantastic.
He's just such a he does such a good bully.
Gets the paint on him. I like how they get the bullies back in it.
Yeah, he's just despicable. It's a very fun movie, and it does a great job of capturing that era.
That's what I'm saying. It captures eras. If you can capture an era with a high school movie, you're in good.
All right, let's go with Copster. Actually, tweeted us out here.
Wow.
Said he saw Rush Hour 2. What's your take on Rush Hour movies?
I don't watch those movies.
Have you seen them?
I don't like Chris Tucker. Besides
Really,
Fridays. Besides Friday,
Okay, well, Fridays. Yeah, he's great.
He's a baby. He's the best.
Fifth Element?
I'm not into that like yelling type stuff. It's not my thing. And he forgot how to be funny.
Did you?
Somewhere along the lines, he forgot how to be funny.
But did you see the Rush Hour films?
No.
So you haven't seen them at all?
No, I won't watch them. I'm not a Jackie Chan guy.
You're not a Jackie Chan guy?
Nope.
Oh man, Stallone and Jackie Chan are huge fans of each other.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'd rather watch a Stallone movie than that.
Understood. At Miss Movies, another friend of ours.
Yeah, she's nice.
I watched The Emperor's New Groove again. Have you ever seen Disney's The Emperor's New Groove starring John Goodman and David Spade as the llama?
Is that animated?
Yeah.
I don't watch animated movies. That's the reason why I've never seen it.
But can we talk about David Spade and his reputation in Hollywood?
Well, I mean, he was,
pulls the hottest girls.
He still does. I seen him the other day at Craig's.
He did?
Yeah, he was with this hot chick. I'm like, Jesus, this guy.
Why?
Why? Because he's getting money and doing movies, and he's funny.
Okay.
For these guys who don't know anything, if you're funny, you can get a chick. Like, just be funny. Girls love guys who are funny.
I was watching Joe Dirt on TV the other day.
That works too. And Dickie Roberts' childhood hero, whatever.
But I was watching Joe Dirt. I was like,
Tommy Boy and Black Sheep.
He's made fun of throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Joe Dirt, and I'm like, how's this guy pick up girls? He's just a butt of every joke.
Yeah, it just works.
It's just yeah.
Interesting. He's actually not that he's not a bad looking guy. He's got decent hair. He grows good facial hair.
Okay.
It's probably funny. He probably has boatloads of cocaine. I mean,
he has that sitcom money coming in too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he has that Rules of Engagement show.
Yeah, that, and he also was on After. I don't know. It was like something with where they owned like a magazine company or something.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
It was on for a really long time.
Lisa Yu at Lisa Artistry. I can't read what she said here. It says Last Tango in Paris.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I've never seen it.
That's Marlon Brando.
I thought
it's basically a porn.
Oh yeah. I thought
porn.
I thought it said Tango and Cash. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh well. I mean that's what happens when you see anything that's close to Tango.
What's better, Last Tango and Cash from Marlon Brando?
Last Tango in Paris?
Yeah, Tango in Paris or Tango and Cash?
Well, Tango and Cash is better just for the simple fact that Stallone's in it.
And Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
In his heyday.
Right, but Last Tango in Paris is a fantastic film, very erotic. I mean, if you wanted, you take a chick home, cook her some chicken. Have some wine, watch Last Tango in Paris. You're guaranteed to
close the deal.
Yeah, go diving. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Chris Alex Chaos. Some of these names
they got great names.
They got great names, our fans.
Yeah.
At Kalex.
Not everybody can name Cody Hall.
Yeah.
4 letters, done in and out.
Perfect. What a well-symmetric name. Just saw Die Hard for the first time. Blown away.
Wow.
This guy looks like, he's fairly...
How old is he?
Older. I mean, look at that age. He's got to be up there. I mean, he's not like young.
He might be 19.
Yeah, 19, like 20. But come on, man. Die Hard? How are you just seeing that
Maybe he was, maybe he's couldn't watch it. Maybe he was, family restrictions or something. Oh, that's right. Like Ken Napzok. Yeah, Ken Napzok. Yeah, he couldn't watch Major League.
That's right.
Look, Die Hard is still probably always will be my top 5 action movies of all time.
I mean, it's got to be.
It is just, the characters are great. It's a Hans and McClane show, mixed in with Al Powell.
Yeah.
But Hans and McClane, the dialogue between them and everything that goes on is just fantastic. It's a believable movie.
Still Bruce Willis's best movie.
Yeah, you could put that out right now and still holds.
That's what I'm saying. That's
still holds.
When it comes to great movies, it's all about, can they hold up no matter what time.
Absolutely. Holds at any time. Anytime that comes on. Like, what do you think? I'm stupid, Hans?
He's like, excuse me, what are you doing? Like, this line's only for emergencies.
Yeah.
What do you sound like? I'm a fucking pizza lady.
Yeah.
That is the best line ever.
Bill Clay.
And
he's like, "Oh, no bullets.
Yeah.
You think I'm stupid, Hans?" And then the elevator opens up, and that crazy like Russian like Albanian guy comes out with the guns, and Hans goes, "You were saying?" and then McClane jumps and like they shoot everything out, and
it's just
gets glass in his feet. It's great.
Zim, his name's Zim. Zim Bim Bim.
Great name.
Zabim. American Psycho. Have you ever seen American Psycho?
Oh man, of course I have. I didn't see it. I didn't
stand there.
Yeah,
eat it.
Exactly. I didn't see it in the theaters.
Oh, you did? I did.
No, I didn't. I was like, what the hell is this? I mean, I was gallivanting around town at that time, and wasn't really in the movies as much as I am now. And I watched it on pay-per-view.
Okay.
And I was blown away on how crazy it was.
It's insane. I saw it in theaters. Titanic came out.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Leo's movie.
That's supposed to be Leo's next film.
I think Leo made the right choice.
You think so? I mean,
money-wise.
Well, yeah. I mean, he did Titanic, but this was supposed. I think he did The Beach afterwards.
Yeah, he did. But still, you don't do that.
Christian Bale does such a good job in the movie.
He's fantastic.
And
he transforms.
He delivers, just the way he delivers those lines is like a perfect tone.
It's brilliantly written. It's from the Bret Easton Ellis book.
Yeah.
Who's a great writer and great craziness. I think, and there's a chick who directed it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies. It's just so bizarre.
When he's like putting all the plastic down, he's listening to Phil Collins.
Yeah, Phil Collins studio. And then it's amazing stuff.
Yeah, such a
good
movie.
The knowledge behind it and just the craziness that goes along with it. And it was supposed to be darker than that. And I was like, really? Yeah, because I didn't read the book either, but the movie's enough for me.
And Reese Witherspoon's in it too, I believe.
She is. And she's good in that. Yeah, she plays like a really interesting little role. And then this guy's like throwing chainsaws off and chopping people up. And then it's a great flick.
He's like, I'd like to take your head off and stick it on a
spike.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah. And it's almost like he's having his inner monologue where he just fantasizes.
Right, and then he does it.
Yeah.
Which everybody has every once in a while. I mean, not that crazy, but
yeah. I totally understand.
Yeah.
All right, man, I think that's going to do it. We got, sorry if I didn't get to you. I got a lot of tweets of movies. We could spend all day doing this. But, we got to go. We got stuff to do. Tell them where they can find you, Finstock. Sorry, Tom. I apologize.
Yeah, at Pop Finstock, Twitter. Me and JTE do Box Office Breakdown, which I think is a really good show. It's a great show, and it's very informative. And there's a lot of, different things people can learn on it. Facebook, whatever the case may be. And Schmoes, I visit there on Thursdays. A couple of big announcements coming pretty soon, and hopefully everybody sticks around.
Yeah, and you can catch me at Schmoes JTE on Twitter. Periscope is just JTE. At Instagram, at Schmoes JTE. And yeah, Box Office Breakdown, the main show every Thursday. We're around, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed the show. Do me a favor, if you're listening on iTunes, give it 5 stars and write a comment. Let us know. Don't just say you love the show, which is great, but
don't just stand there.
Ask me, throw out some movies you'd like to hear maybe on the show be talked about. Maybe we'll talk about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only other thing I'm going to ask you, Tom, is what was I going to ask you? Crap.
The Schmoes 200.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got a big show.
We are on the same team for the Schmodown as well.
Yes, we are on the Box Office Breakdown team, which I'm really excited for. I think we have a good chance of winning the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll bring Sarah in.
Yeah, we got to bring Sarah Stratton in.
She can sit on my lap.
Yeah. I'll let her take it. But that's it, guys. Basically, thanks for listening. Catch us on the Schmo shows, and keep watching those movies.
Yeah, man. Oof.